Welcome back to Digi Bros, everybody. I became convinced. We were sitting here in between episodes, like trying to figure out a discussion topic, and then Victor reminded me what he's been doing lately. Oh wait, go back. You could
what?
You can drop off this bridge and there's a secret.
Ooh, I got a secret formula with a little bit of high and a little bit of low.
Do you want to do the secret, or like you just can?
I've gotta fucking kill this dude who's screaming at me.
No, you don't have to do this first.
Oh!
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get the fuck out!
Holy shit! These things really lose their shit when you let them be alive.
Yeah, don't do that. So anyway, oh god, just get the fuck back over across the bridge and go to the secret area. Fuck all these guys.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, to the left, drop down.
Where?
Like right there, I think. Or look around for it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh
shit!
Fuck!
Now that was a Dark Souls moment right there.
Guys.
Okay, so what you've been doing, I find fascinating.
Okay.
Because all right, we're the millennials. Us people 35 and under, we're seen as people who are like attached to our distended childhood, right?
Yeah.
The nostalgia, the nostalgia generation, if you will. We're obsessed with the old things we liked when we were young.
Morn's ring.
Stuff we liked when we were young keeps getting remade and repackaged and resold to us and shit.
Yeah.
And it's a shit show. It's a real shit show.
Total shit show.
But, there's people our age who still watch and play Pokemon, still into the new Digimon Tri just started coming out,
Yeah.
This show that's like about, it's fan service for a fucking 17-year-old anime, And a good kind of fan service. I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm just saying it's a, well, it depends on who you ask.
Long dead.
Right. Well, Digimon's been coming out since
then.
It's just that it's a direct sequel to the original.
I see.
So it's like 4 people who were fans of the original. It's 4 people who haven't seen it in 15 years, But in any case, all these nostalgia properties are around, But it's interesting to see amongst the new things. Yu-Gi-Oh's had like 6 seasons, right?
Yeah.
And there's still people who are like our age who watch Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Either they've been watching all the seasons, or they find certain ones interesting, or they got into it a little bit later because they're a little younger. They've seen GX or Zexal or whatever fucking season they got into, right? But like, you don't see a lot of people our age getting into the new kid IPs.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't know anybody my age who was into Ben 10 when that came out, right? Because Ben 10 was like, it was for people who were 10 when we were 15, or 16, or however old we were when that show came out, and it was like, it just wasn't quite for us, And that show did kind of like age with its audience. It had Ben grow up, and like the kids who were 10 when Ben 10 was 10 were 16 when he was 16.
And if I were 10, I would have been into Ben 10.
Right, easily. That's totally a show I would have watched and probably been really into. But no, I don't know how the people who grew up on Ben 10 feel about it now. I don't know if they have nostalgia for it, if the Ben 10 has that kind of nostalgia market.
Yeah. But
it would definitely be kids younger than me and you. You have suddenly gotten into Yokai Watch.
Yes.
Yokai Watch is Pokemon for people who are too young to know what Pokemon is.
Basically, yeah.
Like, Pokemon's still around, and there's still new generations who are still into Pokemon. But, if you're the kind of person who's our age and you're still into Pokemon, you're probably not into Yokai Watch.
Yeah.
Because you probably have never heard of it. Because it's for young people, and it's new. Yokai Watch might live to be out as long as Pokemon, and you'll have no idea what the fuck it is, because it'll have come out after your time. That's when you'll realize you're old.
Yes.
When the kids don't know about Pokemon, but they all know about Yokai Watch, and you don't know about it, that's when you'll feel old. Now, part of this is because Yokai Watch hasn't really taken off in the U.S.
Yeah.
It is the next, or at least they're trying to make it the next big thing in Japan. a pretty big 3DS game, anime tie-in, but it's a franchise.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem to have caught on big time here, but
then we don't know. We're not little kids. I mean,
right.
Pokemon was probably a once-in-a-lifetime fucking phenomenon when that was coming out, because that hadn't happened the same way.
But let's
before.
say like Digimon. Let's say Yokai Watch is the next Digimon.
Yeah.
Thing, where it did catch on, just not in that big of a way.
Yeah.
At least not here. I mean, it did in like South America and in Mexico and shit. But like, yeah, like it's a kind of a big thing for young kids.
Yeah.
That like.
Certainly, I would have been into it.
What's funny about it, though, is that we are this nostalgia generation who still watches all these kids shows, like like My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. That show got huge, right, among people our age. But even though those people didn't grow up on the original My Little Pony, it was a nostalgia property.
Yeah.
Like I think if Friendship is Magic had come out and it had not been a My Little Pony thing, then it wouldn't have done nearly as well. Even though
heard of it initially, so
right, even though people like us who didn't get into the original My Little Pony were still watching this newer edition, I don't think any of us would have heard about it if it wasn't a fucking an IP that had been around forever.
Yeah. And
my evidence to this is I don't see a lot of people our age getting into Yokai Watch or stuff like it. You know, there's a bunch of these new ones, or like Card Fight Vanguard or Future Card Buddy Fight. Those are both shows that are like huge now, you know. And I mean, I do know some people, like the people who get really into card game stuff, care about those, but they usually, people our age who are into those are more into the card game than they are into the anime, you know. There's a lot of these kids shows that are like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! That don't get paid attention to because they're not from our childhood and they're not something that reminds us of anything.
Yeah.
Yet somehow, you've gotten really into Yokai Watch. What happened?
Okay. Basically, Hope works with a Japanese girl who is like legitimately like grew up in Japan, like Japanese as fuck, and so she watches Yokai Watch with her daughter. And then she got into the Yokai Watch.
You said Japanese girl, but how old is she?
She's probably late 20s.
Okay.
So she has a young, probably 4-year-old
Japanese
daughter or
woman.
Something. Yes, a Japanese woman. But anyways, she was into Yokai Watch, watches it with her daughter, gets this app game, shows Hope the app game. Hope starts playing the app game, gets curious about the show, starts watching the show, and it's just like, it's the most peaceful thing. Because, it's goofy and stupid and fun. And Hope works long hours and wants to get home and just watch something stupid and fall asleep.
Infantilism.
And so, yeah. I would just call that's fucking better than the coloring book, though, because at least it has a plot. But, yeah, so it's a fun thing, and then I'm over at her house, and she's just kind of like, jokingly like, oh, do you want to watch Yokai Watch? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to watch Yokai Watch. If you enjoy it, I know it must be good. And we watch a couple episodes, and I'm like, laughing my ass off, and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. You made this, didn't even build up how good it was. And so I started watching it on my own. Immediately had to buy the game, which I had already gotten into the app game because she was playing that before I had watched the show. And then I was just like, well, now, I feel like I should watch it. And so now I'm really into Yokai Watch.
So you've been watching this on Netflix.
Yeah.
Dubbed.
Yes, which is awesome.
I walked into the room a few times while you've been watching this, and I now have lines in my face from aging. Age lines. I have physically grown older from Yokai Watch.
What the fuck? Because
Yokai Watch is a fucking children's show.
Yes, it is. By no means a show for, there is
if okay
no facade
with
of
something
being
like
an adult show.
with MLP Friendship is Magic, there was that whole thing where like Lauren Faust said she made this show so that adults,
and people always argue, oh, there's this intelligence, oh, there's an adult appeal, but it's like, Yokai Watch, no,
it's
I'm not gonna pretend it's a kid's show.
Like I said, Lauren Faust her goal was, as she put it, to make a show that was for kids, but their parents wouldn't want to kill themselves by watching it.
Yeah,
that's what she said. Yokai Watch does not make that concession. It does not care. But
it's good.
If we had been into that show when we were kids, Mom would have hated that show.
I don't think so.
She would have hated the opening themes and ending theme. She would have. The show doesn't make any fucking sense.
What do you mean?
I had to strain my fucking mind to comprehend
I caught on pretty easily.
Look, you started up episode 7, right? Cold open. Absolute nonsense dream sequence or something.
What?
It was like this character that's like a human face on a dog's body named Mangy Mutt. He's a human, a weird human face on a dog's body, I should say. Not like a normal human face. And I guess he's like an artist or celebrity.
He's just this guy who's basically a total shithead, and he's obsessed with picking up women. And so every episode since they've met him, he's had a short, and it's a continuing plot line of him getting out of jail, trying to get a career in something that gets him women, and then he ends up getting arrested.
Okay, because the way this played out was like,
if you didn't know who Mangy Mutt was,
it was like him getting out of prison. And then, like, trying to become an artist, and then ending up as, like, a transforming hero on a film set. And then there was, like, literally a moment from the Soul Taker opening, which blew my mind to shit. I can't believe I saw that. I can't believe that was real. There's literally, I'm gonna make a video comparing these. It'll probably already be out by the time this video comes out on my After Dark channel. Of, like, shot for shot, a clip from the fucking Soul Taker opening. Reenacted with Mangy Mutt and Yokai Watch. The most obscure possible thing that this could be making reference to. Or just copying, you know. I don't know if it was intended as like a, hey, fans of the Soul Taker, so much as like
it's paying homage to
it's a fun clip, and they used that same clip, you know. But it's definitely the same fucking scene. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna look as spot on when I put them next to each other, but like I would be shocked if it wasn't in some way.
I've seen that opening theme a billion fucking times, and it was like reliving it all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was really
like,
fucking weird. It was totally the Soul Taker. So I was very glad I got to see that, because wow, did that blow my fucking mind.
Yeah.
A fucking 2014 children's cartoon making reference to a tokusatsu show from 2001 that no one remembers.
Yeah.
But anyways, so then, after that, the first half of this episode was entirely about a yokai that is an elephant, and its trunk represents the penis, and it makes boys have to pee.
Yeah.
Its power is, it makes boys have to pee. And the whole episode takes place, there's like a line outside of the boys' bathroom at school, and the main character, whose name is Nate in the dub, is like, hey, he has to piss. Everyone has to piss.
Yeah,
and it's because of a yokai.
The yokai so that they can take
and
piss.
his elephant trunk is a metaphor for a dick. It's meant to look like a dick.
Yes. And he
an uncircumcised penis.
He blows water out of it. What did he keep saying? It was something stupid.
You can't understand anything. None of the dialogue is like intelligible because they're all using funny, weird dub voices that just sound like.
I enjoy the dub voices.
I'm an elephant man. I pee. You're like,
I think it's a fun dub because it's a stupid kid show, so it doesn't matter.
The opening theme is like a hybrid rap pop song.
It's weird.
You can't understand any of the lyrics. It's just a guy going like, "Yokai, what the bokai? I got a yokai.
You do sound
like,
so completely old talking about all of this. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt old.
There's an elephant man who's got a penis.
And
you can't understand any of the damn lyrics.
A children's show where the entire episode was a penis metaphor. I couldn't because it's like a 4Kids style dub, but 4Kids would never have let that episode come out.
Yeah.
They would have completely cut that episode.
Back in the day.
Yeah, like there's no fucking way they could have got away with that.
There's another episode where I told you the kids are staying up trying to watch porn on
yes.
Wait a minute, what TV.
Fuck, I don't remember this bonfire being here.
You don't? Wow.
On my second, I don't know if I had it on my first, but on my second playthrough, I just completely, I explored this whole area, and I did not realize there was a bonfire there.
Wow.
I guess I just thought it was one of the graves.
Let's get more level ups, man.
At least I don't think I did.
For anyone who doesn't know what the yokai are spirit monsters, and they're spirits
yokai.
of basically inconvenience. Like, they They represent stupid little things like having to pee or being late for work or whatever. Like they always just do some inconvenient
That makes
thing.
a lot more sense.
Oh, so you hadn't realized that?
No.
They're all just meant to be inconvenient. Like there's one called Tattletale that latches onto your face and makes you like speak your mind, and so it leads to all sorts of problems. So every episode it'll be a yokai doing some sort of inconvenience, and the main character stops them.
That makes more sense than whatever. I had no idea what the fuck the show was about. I was just like, this is just things happening. Like,
oh man. But it's cool because it moves fast, it never stops being funny, and it never stops going. And then it'll be like 3 different stories in an episode. So you feel like you're getting a lot out of it.
It's the kind of thing where there's a lot of like side characters, but none of them do anything or say anything or are relevant. They're just there. Like the episode where he was going to the bathroom, like there's like the 2 friend characters, I guess, were just in the line, and they're just like, they're
no
here.
one else can see the yokai. Only the main character can see the yokai.
Right. So everyone else is just kind of there.
Yeah.
And
but they're, they'll be the ones who always get affected by the problems.
Right.
Shit I love is stuff like, in one episode, the main character, like, he sees that he got an ice cream cone, and it's supposed to have 4 swirls, but instead there's 3, and so he immediately goes, this has to be a yokai! And there's always just hilarious moments like that, where the stupidest thing happens, and the main character immediately blames it on a yokai, and the other guy's like, dude, there's no way it's a yokai, you're just being an idiot, and then it turns out it is a yokai.
Let me add to the level of confusion I felt watching this. Because the kid... so he's trying to solve this yokai problem where there's the elephant thing. And so he'll take a disc and he'll put it in his watch, his yokai watch. And it'll summon a yokai, and each yokai has their own jingle.
Which is weird.
But the jingles
They're
are
awful.
Totally uncomprehendable and are not about the yokai itself.
Well, it's about the category
the like
of yokai.
Classification.
Yes.
I would never figure that out if you didn't tell me. Like watching
that's
that
how
episode.
the game works, is by the classifications and things.
I would never have figured that out. Because it just
shows
sounds like it'll like they'll summon one and they'll be like, I'm
boom
summoning...
boom wada wing wing.
Yeah, they'll be like, I'm summoning poop scoop magoop, you know?
That
and then
sounds like a likely yokai name.
The song will be like, oh, it's the one with the strength and power, it's the suck of the cock! And you're like, what does that have to do with poop scoop magoop?
And then you go, poop scoop magoop!
And it's on like a trippy background, you know, and it'll just show the yokai, poop scoop magoop, I'm here to poop.
The weirdest thing is that most of the yokai can talk,
right.
But then some of the yokai only say their names like Pokemon, but it'll be like the one Tattletale is like, it's an old lady with long arms. It's a tiny little old woman with long arms, and it just goes, Tattletale! And you're like, what the fuck is this? It's so creepy. And all of them look like total fucking doofuses. They're all stupid looking, and they have dumb faces, and they do dumb things.
The animation's terrible, of course.
It's alright. It's not a...
It's a kid's show.
But it's not nearly as bad as something like fucking Bakugan, where it just looks like absolute hell, or like fucking Beyblade.
It's pretty much on the same level as Bakugan.
The worst animation. Fucking... There's never been moments in this show where it's like, I watch Beyblade on Cartoon Network and it's just people fucking standing around in a hallway talking.
Beyblade is boring as fuck.
Yes.
But
it's like most of those shows, it's always just like people standing around doing nothing. And this show always has like well-composed shots and like things popping in and out of frame and stuff like that.
I'll take your word for it.
There's always something happening, and it looks like a normal show and not like just characters that they put in a room and then just like try to pad it out as much as they can. Like there's things happening. It feels like they give a shit about what they're writing and try to make it funny and interesting. It's not a fucking battle show where they spend 20 minutes just...
Would you not say that it is at best about as well animated as the original Pokemon?
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking badly animated.
The original Pokemon's a little bit worse. That's pretty bad. There's never moments where there's just like, where it's not animated.
Right.
You know? The original Pokemon had lots of moments that aren't animated. It's just something moving across the screen.
You done got invaded, dog.
Oh shit. Yellow spirits.
These crabs are got a lot of health.
So I enjoy it a lot, and it was refreshing after watching new Pokemon episodes and being like, I don't enjoy this at all. It's not fun, it's not funny.
Which is really interesting because of the Canepa show. It's like all talking about how the new Pokemon season is the best ever. And
I feel like it's what you're fucking going into Pokemon for. Like, maybe as an adventure it might be good, but like, it's not funny. You know? It's not fun. I was watching the old one and it's like, it's always funny and stupid. Like, that's what I want, you know?
Yeah.
I want something retarded that's a kid's show.
So yeah, you got really into, and also like, because here's the thing, here's why I didn't get into Yokai Watch, because like,
this is a bullet hell game.
Like, you know, when I see something like that come out, I have to be at least somewhat excited. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, new big thing that maybe will be a cultural important thing later on. You know, I don't know.
Shit.
So I downloaded the demo for Yokai Watch on my 3DS. Now, my very first impression was, this game looks amazing. Like the graphics are great. It looks just like Pokemon X and Y, but better. Like if you hammered out, like Pokemon X and Y looks like they somehow didn't comprehend how to make a 3D game. They just translated a 2D game into 3D and hoped it would work. Yeah. Yokai Watch is like, this was made to be this way.
Oh, you know, giant crab.
The way that moving around feels is much better.
And it's well
the world looks better.
Getting through the game is kind of like you unlock new parts of the city that have new things and stronger guys in it the whole time. And it's like you're always getting more mechanics very slowly, so you have time to learn them.
It feels like it feels a lot better. It's got better game feel. But then I got into a battle.
Yes.
I have no fucking idea what was happening. Yes. I have never been so confused playing a children's game as I was at that moment. And I was like, am I too old? And I was winning the battles, but I didn't know why. I had no idea why. You have like a wheel, and there's all these like yokai on your wheel, and you just like spin the wheel around randomly, and it'll like 3 yokai are your attacking force, and then the other 3 are your defending force, and depending on where they are on the wheel, and then they'll do special moves, and you have to like just draw katakana, and it'll fucking make them. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is fucking insanity. I don't know what any of it means. I don't know if there's any types. I don't know if there's weaknesses or strategies. I don't know if there's like ways to make it go better or worse. It was just happening. And I was like, what is this? This is madness. It was like a mobile game on steroids or something. Like, there was lots of clicking involved and shit. And I was just like, what is fucking happening? I couldn't even beat I didn't play that long. I played like over the course of one taking a shit. And then I was like, I don't know what this is. Because, you know, I was in that mindset of, like, if this demo is super fun, I'll totally buy this game. Yeah. And instead, I came away from it like, I don't understand young people. Like,
yes. Dude, it took me a minute to get into it.
All I could think was, like, if you're a kid, because kids grow up on iPads now. If you're a kid who's used to tapping things on an iPad, this might make more sense. Yeah. Because it kind of reminds me of, like, a clicker game, in a way, where there's, like, a lot of tapping things.
The app game that there is made by the studio that made the 3DS game.
Right.
So like
it feels like a souped up app game, and I was like, I bet this makes sense if you're 12.
Definitely.
But it doesn't make sense to me because it's
a totally different kind of game.
Yeah, like, it doesn't feel it's not an RPG Pokemon. Traditionally, you know, and so I was just like, whoa, this is like beyond me. And yeah, so like all around, like the anime I get, like I mean, as far the actual things happening are like, what the fuck am I watching? But like it just feels like an old 4Kids anime. Like it feels, you know, it's got the corny ass opening and ending songs. The ending song,
why can't I fucking after me, man?
Is like, oh my god, it's so fucking goofy. Just go watch it. You'll be like, you'll age. You'll measurably age. If you love corny stuff,
you'll either age or you'll get younger.
Yeah,
you'll turn into a child again.
Because the lyrics are like bada bada yokai 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 bada 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 wachichi, and you're like, what the fuck am I?
Because the ending theme is translated from the Japanese,
right? And it's
so
like
that
halfway,
stuff makes sense in Japanese.
Halfway
that's
between
all kids openings in Japanese are always like random dumb words and stuff, like taking apart language basically.
But yeah, it's fucking nonsense and it's madness, and I was just really fascinated that you got into it. I respect that. Yes. I think it's cool,
dude.
Because I think there's most people our age like, you know, get into kids shows, but only nostalgia properties.
Yes.
You know, I don't think there's a lot of people who are willing to just take the plunge and see what's good about Yokai Watch, because they're gonna be like, it just looks like a dumb kids show, and it's like, yeah, so is all the shit you like from your childhood. Pokemon is a fucking dumb kids show, you know, and a dumb kids game.
Dumb
but
as
like,
fuck.
clearly there's a reason you're still into it, you know. So like with Yokai Watch, it's like, obviously it must have an appeal for it to be widespread. It's just that maybe you're too fucking old.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta be
not that kids are dumb, that you're too fucking old, you know?
No.
Alright, next time on Digi Bros, we did it. We did a Yokai Watch episode. I'm pleased.